All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan, and today we are back for another Simple Signals stream. Okay, we have an interesting one today. Okay, we are pumping. We're all over the place. Well, not in a bad way. We're not like hovering. We're doing really, really well, but we are moving pretty crazy. So I'm really, really excited. I want to preface that. I said that every single stream, though. To be fair, we have reasoning for this movement. I'm going to be going over that today. So today is going to be, again, I talk about it as well in the intros, is, I try and preface what the stream is going to be. Is it going to be something I'm going to be comparing previous TA to, or am I going to be looking in the future? So today's going to be one of those ones where I kind of look back over our movement, because we've had some pretty crazy movement. We're looking back to what I've said already and how we followed that, how have we followed that through? How closely have we followed through with what I've said? And obviously I will be talking about where we're going from here and what I could expect, but more so as to what I want to happen to Bitcoin. So obviously we have where we are now, 65.9, absolutely crazy. But we have one more key component. We had my previous stream or the stream before that, we had like 5 steps I wanted to complete. We're on the 4th or the 5th step. We are there basically. I want one more thing to happen before I'm really confident in our massive movement upwards continuously, days and days and days coming. So obviously I will be going over that as well if you weren't here for any of the other streams. What I do also want to say, if you've got any coins to cover, put them in the chat. Obviously if you're on Binance and the chat's moving fast, there's a lot of spammers there. Do put it a couple of times. I will probably spend quite a lot of time, as I always do. The longer I've gone on doing these streams, week after week after week, whatever, I've started to slowly just do kind of stick to no sort of regime at all. I kind of just do my own thing. So sometimes I spend 30 minutes on Bitcoin, sometimes I spend longer or less. So we'll see by the time we do Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, we'll see how much time we have left. But if you do, post some coins, and I do see them in, chronological order as per posting, I will try and cover some. Also, while you're down there commenting, do consider, following the channel, hitting the notifications, or subscribing if you're on YouTube. Also in the description, useful links. If it's your first time here, obviously give it a moment. You don't want to, follow and join all these links if you actually don't enjoy the content. But if you do consider going to the description, looking at the links down there. Twitter's important, Telegram's important, all that good stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. If you do want to talk to me, actually, there's one more thing before I say. Actually, 2 more things before we go on to everything else. If you do want to actually have a conversation with me and talk and, actually have a good, interaction, I would suggest going over to YouTube. I know it's probably not the most, it's probably not the best thing to try and draw people away from Binance, but the chat is absolutely appalling over there. It is the worst thing I've pretty much known ever on any streaming platform. So do consider coming over to YouTube. All you have to do, Crypto Warehouse on Google. First link should be the YouTube channel. And then the first thing you should see on the channel is obviously that big, beautiful subscribe button. If you haven't clicked that, consider it. And you should also see the stream. So if you do want to have a talk and whatever, do consider joining that stream. And the last thing as well, I'm known for my verbal spaghetti. I've been okay so far. I normally have 3 or 4 during the stream. So do bear with me as I drink my water. Okay. I think we're ready. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys are excited as well. Let me check the chat before I go into it. See what people are saying. Scroll up to the top. Let's have a little nosy. So obviously a bunch of the boxes on Binance. Kishan the absolute goat as always. Obviously it's probably at this point I should just record myself saying it and have a button I just press which just automatically says it for me because it's every single stream. Kishan the goat, absolutely. Scroll through. I'm not seeing much on that regard, which is okay. I don't never expect it. I'm not disappointed. I'm just, whatever. Also, I've plugged my light and camera in to the same place, and it's a bit dodgy, and the light was kind of like going all over the place. So hopefully nothing gets cut out during the stream. If it does, then bear with me. But yeah, anyway. Let me scroll up in the YouTube chat, see what's going on. Mags is here as well. Mags and Kishan. You know what? Mags is also getting up there. You're pretty much there as well. As to be the first people saying hello in the chat. So shout out to you as well, man. Absolutely shout out to you. And Kishan, as always. Shiva Channel Cuts, you were here in last stream. So even to you, I'm glad you stuck around for the next stream. I appreciate it. I'm making my dinner lol, but I'm going to watch it live, even if it's on my cell phone. Fair enough. I appreciate it, man. The dedication. Absolutely there right now. Anywhere from anywhere. Absolutely. You know what? The go as well, man. You know what? I mean, to be fair, if you're on YouTube and you're chatting and you're subscribed to the goats, that's pretty much all. You just need to know that. Most important thing is to listen to what our classes say. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Obviously, that is reminding me of something. None of this is financial advice. If you are watching and you're looking at my TA and going, this is really cool, or he's saying this is going to happen, I'm going to, long or short or buy or sell this, that, the other because of what I've said. Please make sure you don't do that, because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a license or this, that, the other. I'm just someone who does TA on on a live stream, and it's your own provocative. Also, the chat isn't on the screen. I don't know why. Oh, it was hidden. I don't know why it was hidden. Is there anything else? Wait, actually, hold on. Am I supposed to be behind? Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. Am I supposed to be behind the banner? Oh, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but none of this is financial advice. Make sure it's your own provocative and it's your own, your own intuition that you're trading on. Let me scroll down in the chat. Oracle Rocks, pulling out all the emojis as well, man. The dedication. KB Evening, even to you, man. We scroll down a bit more. Also, the place I look at the chat, it lags all the time. DJ in the shoebox, let's go. You know what? You know what's the nicest thing is to see consistent names, and people I'll see for the first time, and then a stream later or 2 streams later I'll see their name again. So welcome to you. Glad you could join again, man. I appreciate it. Visual, I'll still remember you guys when I'm filthy rich. Hopefully, obviously Tariq's getting his Tesla. Hopefully you guys remember us. I would appreciate it. Obviously, appreciate it. It's midnight in India. Yeah, I mean, this is what's great about live stream, man. It's like you can literally access it from anywhere around the world. Obviously, I do talk about it all the time, and I have messaged in the Telegram, a couple times before. Is like what is the best time for me to stream in my local time for you guys? Because obviously there's people from around the world. Obviously India and elsewhere in the world where time zones vary. There's never gonna be a perfect time. But obviously, after testing, this rough time seems okay for some people. But obviously, and also there's actually shout outs. I'll do this shout out in the future, okay? Not right now, because there are some people who watch the streams on catch up, or maybe either rewatch or watch on catch up, wherever it is. Shout out to you guys as well. Obviously, don't think I don't appreciate you guys just because you're not in the live chat. I still appreciate each and every one of you if you're watching after the fact. So shout out to you. It's 5 a.m. in Sydney. Me typing. How is this? Oh, me typing is both my girlfriend. Oh, don't worry, you don't have to type anymore. It's okay. Just enjoy the content. Don't want to wake her up. All right, that's the chat. Appreciate you guys. I've just moved something on my screen. I don't know what to do. Okay, there we go. All right, okay, I'm gonna move on. I know I've spent 8 minutes on the intro. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. Okay, so from market cap, let's have a look at some percentages and some prices. See what's going on. It's a green day. Okay, it's a happy day today. This isn't. I'm not surprised that this isn't a happy day. Okay, because we have done some TA in the past live stream or two of simple signals, which obviously has kind of described this outcome for Bitcoin. So hopefully we can continue that and we can see. So 65,938, very, very amazing, very, very good, very awesome. We were, I think our top, obviously don't want to sneak peek anything. Whoops. I don't want to sneak peek anything. Obviously our top so far has been 66.5 right now. We are fighting, okay? We are fighting at 66. And remember guys, if you were here last stream, which price was I exclaiming about so much? 66.3. Where are our candle bodies printing below? Where are we so stuck below? 66.3. We need to, okay, that's the final step. I'll obviously go over it. Sneak peek, I'll go over it now. 2,700 for Ethereum as well, very, very good. Again, I'm a Bitcoin guy right now, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of my TA is either Mew or some other meme coin Mike throws at me, or it's Bitcoin. My Ethereum and Solana TA is a bit bleak, but I'm sure they're following the lines. Okay, Ethereum 2,700, very, very nice, 6% up. Obviously Bitcoin 5% up in the 7 day as well. Solana 8.3% up, very, very nice. And again, you always see Solana, like obviously on the 1 hours it's also 0.5% up as well in 10 minutes, which is really, really nice. I talk about all the time how Solana's the moody teenager of crypto. It does what the market's doing, but in its own way. So obviously you can see we're still coming up really, really nicely. And I'm excited to get into it. So let's see. I want to test something though. Okay, let's do 7 day actually. Okay, no, let's do 1 hour. Oh, never mind, I'm cheating. I wanted to see who the highest losers were. I wanted to see how far away we would see a stable coin. But obviously there does seem to be a couple coins. But again, you can see not even that many spots. Obviously there's some down in the 24 hour, but then you can see boom. USDC. So actually a good day in general. Obviously a couple coins, obviously PopCat here and there, here and there. But in general, a very good 24 hours. Obviously 7 days is going to be different, this, that, the other. Even though, actually, Monero's like the only one. I think they had something though, because I think there was that article which kind of talked about how you could kind of bypass the anonymity of it. But the only way that worked is if you had your own Monero validator, which kind of basically just read the data and then referred back to where it came from. So it was basically a false positive of the anonymity of Monero, and I think it dumped. I don't know how long ago that was. I'm not gonna lie, that might be a while ago. So this might not be anything at all. But obviously that's not gonna help the price of Monero if there is a anonymity scare when the entire ethos of Monero is to be the most anonymous and private, crypto. So obviously that won't be a good thing. But you can see on the 7 day, like apart from Monero, it's stablecoins. So we're having a very, very good time in the market right now. Very, very good. I'm going to move on now though, to the actual Bitcoin chart so we can actually see what's going on. So this is the 4 hour right now. The 4 hour, it might not seem that interesting. You might think, oh, okay, what's going on here? It's just a straight line upwards. It's nice. But when we go down to the 15 minute and I start to talk about why I'm so happy about what's going on right now, or what's going on right now, you will feel my excitement through the screen. You'll understand my excitement of what we're doing, because my lines have been followed so well. It is beautiful. So we will look at that. I just want to show also very nice trampolines. Obviously, this is the little joke we had, a couple streams ago. Maybe I think it was Friday time, maybe, or maybe it could have been Monday time. No. I think we were back here somewhere on Friday when I drew the trampoline. So we have the trampolines here. These are copy pasted, obviously all the same thing. But this whole area, as I've talked about, this whole area is equilibrium, which we've surpassed. Is going to be super strong support, and lo and behold, the 4 hour. Sorry, I'm burping. I really do apologize for that. We can see obviously we had massive support numerous of times now. 4 individually strong cases, maybe even 5 if you consider these wicks. Here and there. This is strong support. That's all I'm saying. Super strong support. So, my lines speak for themselves. Let me check the chat. Check the Binance one, because there's nothing going to be on there, because it's Binance. Sorry, I need some water. I'm not giving you $1,000. God, Binance is like the worst chat, man. Honestly, you know what? I'm not bothering anymore. If you're on Binance, you want to talk to me or say anything, just go on YouTube. It's still the worst chat. It's actually horrible. It's literally like just a fest of nothing. Okay. Oh yeah, we have all the giveaways we're doing. Okay, actually I want to talk about this, because if people aren't reading the chat, or if you're on Binance, yeah, here it is. Next Tuesday. Oh yeah, we have the because Wednesday is Mike's birthday, if you didn't know. So obviously, wish him happy birthday in the chat, if you will. But we're doing instead, similar how we did. It was Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday, right? When we did that giveaway. We're doing a very similar one, but with some obviously coins in the Crow sphere. Obviously you got Push, you got Moon, got about $45 there, and $5 in 2 other tokens. So obviously if you're not reading the chat, basically $55 worth of token giveaway on Tuesday. So mark it in your calendars. Okay, Tuesday next week we're doing another giveaway. So do make sure you come join there. And okay, October 9th, I actually didn't know when we were doing it, but there it is. We have partnered with a company. I should probably bring them up, but I'm not going to bring them up right now. Because, to be honest, I don't have the article right now. But we are partnered. Basically, we do an unboxing and a giveaway of a wallet, a crypto wallet. It's called One Key. One Key, that is none other enunciation, not One Key or anything like that. It is One Key. I believe it's like the mini Twin Mini 2. I can't remember what it's called exactly. But basically, obviously, we're going to do like a video on it where we unbox it and show you guys the features and this, that, the other. And we'll be giving it away. So you will be getting a parcel sent by mine and Mike's truly, okay, with a nice little One Key wallet in it. And this isn't just for any old geezer, all right? This is for the OGs. So if you're here and you're an OG, you'll be able to access that, because obviously it's $90 worth of a giveaway, so we can't just let someone randomly come onto the chat for the first time and say hello, give them the giveaway, and all of a sudden they've got a $90 wallet. We can't really do that, so we have to do it for the people who are who are here. But we are doing that as well. So for the OGs, obviously if you're listening, You've obviously read the chat probably. Optimum knife. Awesome. What else is there? Seems everything is massively right up right now. Yeah. We're massively up right now. It's crazy. I mean, I showed you the 7-day percentages. Literally, apart from Monero, which obviously as explained why we were going down in Monero. You know what? I don't think I've ever done a Monero chart, to be fair. But the reason why we're going down Monero is obviously because of that whole news. 66k war, as Mike says. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know 15 minutes in the stream, I haven't really done a single bit of TA. I do apologise, obviously. You know, I'm a chatterbox and whatnot. I'm not giving you money. Honestly, I literally looked at the balance chart for 2 seconds and Mohammed's asked for money. I'm not giving you money. Leave. Just leave. Please leave. Don't want you here. Oh my God. Yeah, 60k wall. Yeah, absolutely. 66,300. We need to break above it and use it as support. Once we do that, the sky's the limit. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Danny, I'm ready. You know what? I won't mind who wins. Obviously, I know if you're an individual who's watching and you're OG, you're going to mind who wins because you want to win it. But I don't mind who wins because it's all going to be the people we appreciate the closest to us. So I'm ready for October 9th as well. I'm really excited for it. I can't scroll on the chat. Okay, there we go. Wow, perfect charts, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Don't worry. When I go to the 15-minute, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Rosie is 100% accurate. Guys, you're gassing me up too much. Okay, I'm gonna shimmy off to the chat now. I'm gonna look at the chart. So this is okay, as I explained, this is the equilibrium area. So this is the most important area on each range. What these are dealing ranges, is what they're called. Basically, the difference between these orange lines, so this orange line and this orange line at 72k, this orange line at 65.6, and the orange line back down at 59. There is a midpoint in each and every one of these ranges. If you're someone who uses premium discount, this is a very similar, understanding. This is very similar in terms of the way they work. There is always an equilibrium in the middle with a certain, difference in price, whatever. Obviously, the way I draw my ranges relies on different mathematics, but it's still the same process where you have a dedicated equilibrium, and each and every area of each range. So, for example, if we break into the new dealing range, which is what we need to do, which is what I'm going to explain in a minute, the next middle point of difficulty will be between 68 and 69,480. So this whole area, obviously on different time frames, you'll see it differently. So on the higher time frames, you'll probably see a wick. You'll see a wick at 68, let's say, but it'll print below 68.3. But on the lower time frames, you'll see us print in 69, but we'll come back down again. So obviously it does vary, but each and every one of these equilibriums is crucially important. Now, let's go back into where we are now. So when I talked about the trampoline, this is the trampoline. So there's a trampoline above us and the trampoline below us. That is the equilibriums. That is when we break up. That's when we break down. This, that, the other. So I was just drawing a little trampoline springboard thing to kind of show as an example as what the rough effect of coming into these areas are. So you can come arbitrarily into these areas. You can come a tiny bit. You can come a long way. As long as you don't break below and print as a candle body below or above the equilibriums, depending on what sort of sentiment you are. So if you're bullish and you don't want to go, you want to continue to go upwards, you don't want to break below and print. Importantly, on the lower time frames, 62.13, there's still hope you can come back upwards. But the important one is the outer rim of the equilibrium, which is, in this case, for example, 61.740. So you can see if we obviously shimmy back, you can see multiple times over where we bounce off this rough area. This is like the outer rim of it. And you can see, and I talked about this at the time, the important reason why we didn't hold above this equilibrium and continue onwards is because we didn't come back to test and use it properly. We just high volume upwards, big candle body, hovered, came right back downwards. But the difference was, in this case, you can see we had the same movement from the Wednesday news, and then we came back into it multiple times. This was solid testing back into it to kind of prove to us that we are now above this equilibrium and proving to the market we are now above this, and we are now in a new range. So yeah, between these orange lines, there is still two ranges in between here and here. These are two ranges. So technically, there is kind of an equilibrium in between them, and there's their whole different sphere up and down. But once you break up into a new range, you're then in that gap there. So let's move on to the important thing now, which is this line. Let me shimmy over here so you can see the numbers. Get my things frozen. So I'm shimmying all the way back now. Here we go. The point 11, all right? This purple line is an expansion line. So when you break above and you use it and you candle body print above it, this is when obviously on regardless on what time frame, you know, if you're on the 1 minute and you wick above and you print above it, it's not going to work like that. Okay, you need to be on a appropriate time frame as per the TA. So for example, this one, you can roughly see the 1 hour is where it looks like it respects the lines the most. So if you're on the 1 hour and you print above this line and you use your candle body or you bounce off it, that's the true point. So right now, even though we came to 665 and we came above 66.3, I'm still not fully confident that we've fully, formed ourselves in this range in between 65.6 and 72.1. Once we break above 66.321 and have a candle body print above it and do whatever we're going to do, we could come back down. We could bounce off 65.6. We could even come back down to 65. As long as we, okay, obviously on the flip side, as long as we don't print, you can see the purple line here, this line, and this line. If we print above it, candle body, whatever, we can come down to here, but we're in this range. We're just dipping below. It's exactly what we're doing right now. Technically, we're still in this range down here. We're just dipping into the upper range. So once we have that candle body print above and we use it as support or whatever we do, that's when it confirms to us we are now going to be in a new dealing range, which is these two different orange lines, one at 65k and one at 71 or 72.1. So once we do that, this is the crucial moment. All this has been crucial, this whole lead up, trying to come up into this area, which I expected we were going to do. I expected this as well. I knew we were going to do this. I said it, go back in the streams, go back 2 streams, I said it. We're going to have a rejection block in 65.6, I'm going to come back down. I don't know where I said we'd come back down to. I said we're going to sweep these highs and then come back down. Obviously, I think I might have mentioned about, obviously, the strength of this order block, which is, I believe, actually a breaker block in this range. Oh, no, it's an order block because of this. This is order block area. But you can see we did exactly what we needed to do. We had a rejection block, which you can see if we shimmy across, we had difficulty at. You can see we had this bounce here, but again, nothing stopping us. We came right above, and now we're at this area at support, which obviously in turn is this below area. So this is rejection block area. So you could probably attribute this here as a rejection block on the support side of things, which is good. This is good news. So this is why we're allowing ourselves to sit in this area and bounce. So if we shimmy this back, you can see this is also back where this rejection blocks was. Let me shimmy it down again to where this rejection blocks, and then we can go back onto a lower time frame. So you can see, we formed it, difficulty, came up, and where do we bounce off? Where's the midpoint? Exactly here. What difference is it? It's like what? It's $7 off this midpoint or this bottom here. So really, really nice, really, really perfect rejection block. Really, really, really good. So anyway, continuing. We're now hovering in this kind of area between the next dealing range and this blue. What we need to do, just to preface, obviously, before I go into the validity of it, we need to break above 66.3 and have a candle body print on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. We need to have a bounce off it. We need to, if you go to the 15 minute, you can see, even on the 15 minute, we never really got above it. And this is why I was excited, like when I was saying, before I went into the TA, why I was excited to go on the 15 minute, because of how good everything looks on the 15 minute. Every single thing looks really, really good. Bounce off order block, bounce off the midpoint, came back, bounce off this perfect area. Midpoint bounce off this this 0.11 area, which is really, really good. Obviously, you can see the forming of the rejection block in this area. Obviously, you can see the usage of it in here. And you can see, this is the most important one as well, is how close we have stayed below this this area at 663. And yeah, you could say this, we had a, what is this? This is like a 10, wait, how much is it? So 63, so like $11. We had $11 difference print into this area. That's not enough, okay? If you zoom out on the wider thing on the 15 minute, it doesn't even look like we came into it. You can see the wicks. We have not been able to get above it. So this is the important thing. This is what I'm prefacing. Regardless of what we do, this is what we need to do. We need to use this rejection block of support. We need to do this higher low we're doing. We need to come into this area. We need to print. Either we can print and bounce, which would be even better, or we can print into the new area, 66.5 area, and then we can come back down. But as long as we have that higher low and the higher low again, and come into this area and continue that movement, then we are golden to be sitting in this area. Obviously, we're not out of the woods yet, because we are still really close to this this purple line. You can see like how important these lines are. Like you know, relatively close highs here, and you can see the bounces here, you know, off of this line. So really important line. Once you break up below, and again, it's like, you know, it's like a mirror. You can see how important this was here, and you can see how important it is here, like how difficult we are. Obviously, we had a wick below, came right back upwards again. And again, if you go back to the 1 hour, you can see, actually, to be fair, on the 1 hour, it does print pretty properly. But to be fair, again, this isn't the range we're looking at. You know, we are in this range. If we were coming from the higher range to the low, this would be a bad sign. But we're not, so that's the good thing. We're coming from the bottom one to the top, so it doesn't matter if we do this. I'm just trying to point out the importance of these lines. Yeah, we need to do that. That's what all I'm trying to say. And again, on the 15 minute, I'm showing you how we're using these lines. So this is good. You know, maybe our next bounce, if we come back upwards towards 66.3, could be off of not only the blue line at 65.8, but it's also the rejection block top here. So it looks like we're slowly, you know, we use the bottom of the rejection block. Now we're using the midpoint, you know, maybe once or twice. You know, we could have a little like W back up, or, you know, we're just slowly coming up. You can see really, really nicely. So the next bounce, you know, will probably be something on top of this 65.8 area, you know, as we come upwards. So the important thing, and again, like I said, like I prefaced in the intro, this stream's more so of looking back on what we've done and what we need to do currently in the shorter term. Obviously, the long term, all I'll really say is we're going to be in this range. So we're slowly going to be kind of coming upwards, using these lines here, there, you know, doing our thing, forming, you know, different things as we come upwards towards 68k. So, you know, from there, it's going to be, you know, looking into this area, seeing what we can do. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're doing well. We're doing really, really well. Obviously, we had this roughly slanted W, which I talked about, you know, a bit ago. But you can see we are entering into it really nicely. So our next area, once we break above, is going to be in this area, you know, coming from 65.6 up to 72, which is obviously up here. And again, just to show the importance of these lines, most recent 2 highs we had here, look how good they were on these rims. So if we put this back to black, you can see how close it is here. You know, this is the area of equilibrium, which we obviously failed to break. And obviously, if you shimmy it backwards, you can see how well it is used. Let me shimmy this down a bit. There we go. It's more like here. Let me do that. There we go. So you can see, oops, I didn't print it then. There we go. It's about there. So you're looking at it, you can see bounced off it, came up, bounced, came up, bounced, and you can see we just have difficulty. It's like we kind of quickly come above and then we fail again. And this one's important as well. This one was really interesting because we slightly got above this expansion. Again, you know, remember what I talked about, how important the expansion lines are. You know, we never really got above it ever again, apart from here. And again, similar to how, like I said, cascading, you know, in terms of how similar price can be on different time frames. Looking on the 1 hour, we saw that $11 difference in between the purple, you know, to try and expand upwards. It's the same scenario here where we technically came above it, you know, but in this case by about, you know, about $100, $160. Relatively on the daily, that isn't a lot of, you know, a lot of money at all. So this isn't like a relatively low movement. You can see we never really got above this expansion. But again, like I said, if we come to like 74, 75, whatever, come back down into it, that is when you know we are then in the next range, which I need to actually draw because I don't have it. But anyway, let me delete this, go back into where we are now. So yeah, that's what I think. We need to do that. I think we're slowly going to continue in this range as we, you know, continue to come upwards. You know, we haven't slowed down or anything. Really good trend line so far. Obviously, depending on where you draw it from. You can draw it from probably these bottoms here. So, you know, we still have potential. Obviously, the lower this would still be around this orange line, you know, coming upwards. You know, slowly but surely coming upwards. So I don't think we're going to completely wake up right now. We could definitely do it. Not saying. But that's what we need, just to preface. Obviously, I've spent my 30 minutes on Bitcoin. We need that print above 66.3 so we can bounce off it, expand, and then be in 65 towards 72k. That's it for Bitcoin. Let me check the chat quickly before I move back onto you know, Ethereum, Solana, and whatnot. Checking the balance chat first, which is, you know, a waste of time. But Mr. Imran, hi bro, hello to you. Welcome to the stream. Not seeing much on the chat. Okay, let me go on to YouTube, which I know there's chat there. We'll see what's going on. Okay. That chart's insane. Yeah, I mean, when I saw it, because I looked at my phone before I came back up onto my computer to prepare for the stream, I looked at this chart with these lines, especially on the lower time frames, on the 15-minute and the 1 hour and whatnot. I just thought, this is really good TA. Like, this is just really well respected, especially these bounces off the midpoints and the highs and the rejection block and the midpoint and the top and the bottom on both the order block and the rejection block, and bouncing off the top here. It was just really good. And bouncing off this order block down here, and again, coming back down, filling this fair value gap, coming upwards on the higher time frame, which I forgot to actually mention about, which I think I've already talked about before, filling this fair value gap perfectly to the midpoint, coming down, finding support again, candle body printing, above this, especially on these latest two bounces, directly above not only this blue line, but this breaker block back here, which is in breaker block area. It's just really, really perfect. Like, it's just really nice usage of all these lines. I enjoyed it. Let me delete this. Had a gassy drink as well before I came onto the stream, so it's just not helpful. Maybe making me rich, my dude. You know what? I'll look at it actually. I'll draw my ranges as well on it, because the range. Problem is with ranges, they take a while to draw, because you have to figure out the high and the low of it, and you have to do it like a couple times depending on what range you use. I should probably. I said this last stream, didn't I? I need to find a something which draws it for me, but whatever. He's on fire. I appreciate it. God bless me to win wallet at Crystal Warehouse. I mean, I can't have favorites, okay? I can't have favorites, obviously. So I'm not gonna, say, I wish I could wish you the best, but obviously, it is up to luck. I expect continuation towards 68k, but I'd also be cautious of those lows at 62.3. Let me have a lows. I think we've already talked about these 62.3s actually. I mean, yeah, if there's a lot of, especially of these latest ones down here at like 62.6, obviously I know you're talking about 62.3 down at these two lows. I think I actually did draw a line between them. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we were to hide these, we have these two lows down here, or relatively equal lows, obviously depending on what you look at. And also we do have three lows here. Actually, to be fair, we had these two equal lows, which we've already come below. So maybe not these lows, but yeah, we definitely haven't come below these lows yet. At 62, what is it? 62.338. I think I remember drawing a line on these a stream ago, whenever it was. If you draw it back as well, we also have highs. Obviously this is on the 1 hour. We do have two high wicks, on this line, which is also nice to see. And also candle body prints. So we do have these lows. Absolutely, I agree. Let me go back to the 1 hour. There we go. Oops. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, to be fair, that is actually the midpoint of this equilibrium, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, we do have these lows, which are just resting there. Resting to be moved below and then continued back upwards. It would be a pretty. I mean, in what I have drawn right now, we'd have to break through a lot to get down there. Obviously, absolutely in terms of the caution. But again, like I said, I completely agree with you in the way that we haven't gone above 66.3 and printed above there and used it as support and kind of stayed in that range, and came up into the new range strongly. So, as I was alluding to, or basically I even explicitly said in terms of, 10 minutes ago when I was saying we haven't come above this, so we haven't actually truly come into this new range. We could still come back downwards and so on and so forth. So, there is always, it's always in the books. In my regard right now, because we haven't done that yet. But once we do that movement towards 66.3, I think it's going to be, unless something serious happens, I think it'll be quite hard to get back down there for Bitcoin. So again, we will see. I think, I hope for anyway, but I think we're going to be continuing this movement. Because we obviously have the low of this rejection block and this blue line. We have the midpoint of this order block, I think it is. We have the rejection block midpoint and whatnot, which also is resting on the obviously you can't not when I look at these ranges, I can't not look at the orange lines as important, because these are the highs and lows. So these are going to be important for bouncing off the highs and lows. So there's multiple lines: this blue line, the orange line, the low of it, the high of the order block, the midpoint of the order block. and we can surpass this 11.11 line, which is also a line. Obviously, the bottom of the order block was used nicely. We also have this whole breaker block, which I have already talked about. How I said this on the stream. I said we were going to form an order block, use it as resistance, and then flip it. So yeah, what we might need to do, to be fair, is we might need to come back towards 64k, 64.3 to use it as support. But this is a breaker block. So in terms of we use it as resistance, like I said, and I said we're going to flip it and use it as support. So we have all these little areas, and especially this big old breaker block, which we have below us, which I talked about a stream or two ago. I can't remember if it was last stream or the stream before, but I explicitly said we have this order block, we're going to use it as resistance once, and we're going to come back and we're going to flip it, which we have done. We used it as resistance, came down again, founding support this breaker block on the this breaker block area, and then we flipped it now, which is really, really nice. So there's tons of different areas of support. So it'd be a feat to get down there, but again, not out of the books. We're not, like I said, we're not out of the forest, wherever. What did I say again? We're not out of the war yet. We still have this area to break above. Once we do that, once we have that print, I'll be a bit more confident. I really don't want the daily candles to close as a SFP. What is an SFP? I don't know what that is. Let me try and think what that could mean. I don't know. Tell me, please. Delete my comment. 68 to 280 is the break of my lower highs. The OGs are all in with it. Okay, whatever. Yeah, 62 280. Yeah, exactly. I mean, my thing was 66 330. I mean, what's nice? Obviously, I know the lines are respected, so the highs are going to be equal. But it's nice to see. When I have my kooky lines, these crazy wacky lines, it still is pretty accurate with obviously what Mike says, because we do talk about swing fair pattern, right? Okay, yeah, that's true. I'm scrolling now. Yeah, where was I? I've lost myself. Problem is the chat is broken. Like if I scroll, I have to press a button which brings me all the way to the bottom of the chat, which just like moves me so much. I'm scrolling now. Man, it's just broken. Okay, I'm back. Doji chance. Yeah, Walkie Classic. Oh, I thought it was a mini. Or was that a new one? Yeah, this is the one. Okay, I'll bring it up now, actually. Might as well. So this is the thing we have. Obviously, these are the people we partner with. The one key, like I said. This is the little wallet. So it's a really nice little screen. Compatible with most phones. I've downloaded the app. What we want to do, we want to go to the office and kind of do like a video on it. Record it, get some nice shots of it, and kind of do an opening of it. Explain how to set it up, how it works. I mean, it's a wallet. It should be quite simple. But we do want to do a video on it, and also we're going to be giving it away. So you can see there's the app in the background. It's quite a nice little thing here. Really, really sleek, and the packaging is beautiful as well. If I could maybe try and find a box photo. Oh, there's obviously a photo of the little box part here. Here it is. It reminds me of like the it's quite blurred. Apologies, but the Android the Samsung phone boxes, like I don't know, S21 box example. Will it show me a box? Like this sort of like black and like multi-layered black on it, like this, the crypto hole. It's a very, very classy box, like really, really premium. So very nice. We'll be giving this away. We do some videos on it as well. So I'm pretty excited to be doing this. Really, really excited. But yeah, anyway, let's go back to this with the chat as well. Jupiter, I can write that down. Again, I've yapped. I always yap. I mean, let's be real. We should have expected this, right? Like I can't do like five coins. There was one. Have I slipped up yet today? I don't know. I can't remember. Again, we knew I wasn't going to spend like 50 minutes on Bitcoin, 5 minutes on Ethereum, 5 minutes on Solana, and we'd have tons of time to do 5 different coins. I don't have that. Jupiter, I could probably look at Jupe. I don't know if I have the ranges drawn. I'm going to try and find I think I have the add-on which shows the ranges for me. So I'll have a look. Do you trade it? I haven't actually taken a trade of the latest TA. Of this like Bitcoin trade. Unfortunately. So no, I didn't. Yeah, NFA. Yeah, exactly. All time. Or is he talking about Jupinondo? Potentially, I don't know. I used to have an honorable run again, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, you know, I remember we talked about this. Obviously, I know you're talking to Mike here. We were talking in Telegram. Where's my screen gone? That was weird. Yeah, a lot of these. I mean, if there's a project with a coin which has any sort of relevance in terms of you know, it has something you can use it for. The majority of them, unless something goes wrong internally, will pump with the market. Obviously, the meme coins will pump as well. You know, not denying that. But obviously, we're gonna have the alt season. The majority of them are gonna be pumping because the majority of them, as long as they have a valid reason and aren't in a an overly saturated market where you know there's like 6 different projects doing the same thing. If they have like a unique selling point, USP or something like that, and they're doing something which no one, not saying every single project has to be doing something no one's done before, but something which has a small sphere of, you know, 1 or 2 or 3, you know, entities, then they're going to be pumping if people are using them. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, the majority of these coins, no matter if I've looked at them or not, I could probably say, you know, they're probably going to pump eventually during. I say during and throughout at the same time. During this period, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yep, I was watching the breaker blocks. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, again, I can't remember what stream it was, but it was probably the last stream before. I mean, we actually probably tell. When was the last stream I did? It's Friday today. Was it Monday? It might have been Monday, because we did Monday, Wednesday, doing Friday. So this was formed on Monday. Oh no, that was the last stream Tuesday. Oh, let me have a look. Hold on. It's gonna bug me if I don't remember what stream this was. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter the grand scheme of things, but it might have been the last stream actually. Then. Hold on, it's gonna bug me. I apologies. I'm pausing the stream again. Yeah, I streamed 3 days ago. Wait, what? 3 days ago? It must have been Tuesday then. Yeah. Yeah, we were down here, weren't we? Yeah, okay, so I streamed oh, that's weird. I don't know why I just streamed Tuesday and then Wednesday. That's weird, I don't know. Yeah, so, okay, it was last stream then. I figured it out. It was last stream, wasn't any other stream. But yeah, last stream, I covered this. Obviously doing well. Again, I'm yapping. I don't know what I'm talking about this. About Juice, I can have a look at Juice. I can look at Juice. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna dump on the live. I mean, obviously not definitely, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna probably. I need to stop talking because there's a lot I need to do right now, which we don't have a lot of time for. Maybe dev team are announcing Binance listing soon. Looks like they're timing it for the right moment. Yeah, absolutely. That's gonna be huge, absolutely huge. Let me move that over there. I am talking a lot, so let's move on now. Ethereum. I haven't actually looked at the main chart in a while. I probably should do that. What I will do though is look at the chart I drew for the weekly. I know, I apologize if you're someone who really cares about the Ethereum chart. I don't have that drawn. Going well. I mean, again, this is on the daily, so this was covered like a couple of candles ago. Obviously, in terms of the 4 hour, we have some previous, you know, highs, you know, back here, which we are using as support now. Obviously, there's a consistent area. This is probably some sort of equilibrium area. You can see good bounces off here, good resistance, good bounces off here. So, you know, very nice anyway. Looking back down again, we had another one down here, which we used, and we obviously flipped again. Obviously in a good bullish trend now with these highs. Obviously had this really big high actually, which we, you know, have more room for. So obviously we're going to have to get above that, which we actually have done. I don't know why I'm saying we have to get above it, because we've already done it. So we're kind of expanding. Technically, if you look at, I hate if you press the space bar, it moves on to like sort of different coin or a different ticker. Yeah, obviously for someone who looks at chart patterns, you will recognize this as an expanding triangle. which should in theory show dumpage, which is potential for it, but if the market's pumping, really. Looking at it again, we do have some lows here, you know, a couple lows. This is on the 4-hour while, so you have like 3 or 4 lows here. So this could be something to consider. I would talk about these lows as well, but we've already come below them and came back upwards again. This is also a rejection block down here. You can see here, really good reject. Is that on it? Not sure. Good rejection block. You can see we came into and it came upwards again. Obviously being backed up by this line from these highs and lows. So really good there as well. As we continue to come upwards, obviously filling this gap as well, and then some. So if we look back and see previous price action, seeing what we're actually doing, we can see, you know, we had. I'm just looking at these highs now. Actually, an order block here as well. Let me see how the validity of it, see how well it's being used. Obviously, currently now is going to be it's actually currently a negative order block. So you can see, flipped it as a breaker block, flipped below, resistance, 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 flipped it, never came back to test the as a breaker block, and then fell below, which is something that's important to remember as breaker blocks. Actually, yeah, that's a good point about Bitcoin. We never actually have come back to it on the 4-hour, which is something really important we need to do. So yeah, maybe we actually do come back to the order block or the breaker block now, because we actually do need to test it. Anyway, so obviously a negative order block, so obviously not necessary to test it, but we have already tested it on both sides of the sphere. So, but you can't deny, obviously this is a negative order block, which you can see we have been using. So if we come over to where we are now, you can see bounce off midpoint. We are currently candle body. The candle body is currently above it right now with 30 minutes to spare on the 4-hour. So we could potentially print above it, try to flip it as a breaker block. So what best I could hope for, considering what the market's doing, considering what I think Bitcoin is going to come up again, what I could hope for is that Ethereum can flip this, come back towards 2,700 or 2,690, using this as a breaker block, as support, and then we can be sitting in this range now, coming up to this previous high, which we could definitely see a sweep before we continue this trend upwards for Ethereum. So let me just see if there's anything else interesting going on over here. Another not mini order block, but another order block, negative one actually, which we immediately flipped and then came down. Actually, this one isn't really very good. I don't like that. Not a very good order block. There's just so much better than others. This one's also decent as well, actually, as a negative one again. Obviously, because it never has to be fair. You can see the bounce off the top end. So this is going to be another area. So just trying to, you know, path ourselves the trend. You know, like obviously we go, okay, why do we bounce here? Why do we bounce here? Why do we bounce here? Why here? You know, I want to give reasoning to why we're bouncing. So, you know, are we going to bounce here? Coming up to, I don't know. You can see there's a high and a high, and then we bounced off this. So maybe coming to here instead. So looking, obviously we had the candle wick. Maybe it's come to here, came down again, come to here. Maybe come down to flip this and then come up, flip this, support again, come up. You know, just trying to see where we could see these bounces and resistances for Ethereum. So I mean, again, on the grand scheme of things, though, excluding the 4-hour, going on to the daily, we're still in this trend. I think eventually we're going to flip this 2,800 after having these ridiculous lows. Eventually flip this. Obviously, we've had this equal bottom, or this W as we've had with Bitcoin, and I think we've had something similar for Solana. I think we're going to have this V pattern as well, coming up to these two lows here. And if you shimmy it backwards, whoops. Actually, to be fair, this is actually a line, isn't it? So it's not really something we can just draw like that. Actually, what I'll do this, right? And then we can do this. I'll do this like, I'll just do 100, why not? It doesn't really matter. I just want to go back and see, like you can see, I just want to see consistency back here. You can see we had a bit of resistance below it here as well. A bounce off it here, you know, bit of resistance in some of these areas and support. So decent on both regards. You know, 3,000 obviously a big number, 3,087. So I don't think we'll have a bounce off that area roughly. We also have a gap in this area. You can see, obviously we filled this gap here for our neckline. You can see formed the gap, came into it, came down again. We've got another gap here. Obviously not too big, so not holding on to too much like, you know, gravitas or whatever you want to say. I don't know, I'm yapping on it. But still coming into this area, you know, 3,050 maybe to the midpoint, or coming up to the top at about 3,080 and then coming down again, you know, finding support. Where could support be? Well, to be fair, we do have, you know, some different areas down here which we could see. You know, let's just make this, I don't know, some random purple. We could see potentially 2,900 instead of support, instead of it being, you know, right back to the bottom of where we're at right now, which is 2,800. So we could see 2,900 instead and shimmy this upwards. But regardless, it's just caveats to the same movement where we're going to have a bounce and then continue upwards. But again, this movement is going to be spanning across, obviously, the entire move. Again, this is pen as well. Whenever I draw pens, I always like to preface, it's never a time-based thing. It's always a movement. So this is a rough movement. This could take us towards November time. This could take us towards the middle of October. So it's not a confirmed time frame-based thing. It's just more of a, showing the direction and the way we're supposed to move. So that's it for Ethereum. Solana, I don't know if I have any Solana, light mode-based charts. I think we'll just have to go on to the main chart. Oh, we do have a range, actually, to be fair. What are we doing in the range? Let's have a look. Because ranges, that, again, like I said, they're like set and forget. Like, you draw them, and then you can kind of like just use them as you want. Let's go to 4 hour because it looks like it's a bit of a bigger one. So let's see how well we're using them. So we have these lines at different highs and lows, which we obviously came back into. What is this line? Importantly, what is this area? This is equilibrium area. So what do? We flipped it. Resistance, 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 resistance. We flipped it. Support, support. I've already talked about this on last stream, I think, as well. We're now coming upwards, which is very, very similar to Solana Ethereum equal rise. Yeah, I mean, I think this is very similar to most things. Again, like, obviously we have, I think I actually drew this. I drew this, didn't I? I drew this on last stream. Okay. By accident, I suppose. Let me do this quickly. I just want to see, like, I haven't used I don't really use chop hands as much anymore. I've kind of evolved into these ranges. But this actually brings us basically towards the high. You can see really nicely used it at 162. I think I talked about forming a rejection block at 162. So I think 162. I think I actually talked last stream about 162.5, which is going well as we see it right now. So really good so far. I don't know what this. You know what I'll do? I'll draw an extra range above. I want to see what's going on. Let me get the calculator out because it does involve a formula to drawing it. So let me just do this. Really quick. I want to see what range. I can't remember what range I've used for this one. Okay, I actually have no idea. What I'm going to do, though. Is this even an equal one? I don't even know if this is equal. God, this is a horribly... I didn't even put it in an appropriate place. I've kind of just drawn it. Oh, I drew it from the high to the low. That's not very good. After you draw, this isn't actually a proper range, actually, because I just did it from the high to the low, which isn't what you're supposed to do with these ranges. But I think I was doing it at the time. But again, it's still valid enough. So I still think we have this 163 rejection block coming up towards this area. But obviously, we do have these difficult areas at these blocks, which we're seeing resistance at multiple times over again and again. So not too much of a surprise there. We also have a higher time frame one here, which you can see midpoint, decent test as well. But I'm going to delete that one. I'll just look at the higher time frame or lower time frame one. So we're in the resistance area basically. So hopefully we can flip this. And again, very similar with Bitcoin has 66.3. Obviously Solana probably seems to have 161. Ethereum has its 2,700, 2,800 area. Obviously we're not at 2,800 right now. 2,700. I don't know where our high was actually, to be fair though. But we consistency based things. We still have these areas with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. So good to see that as well on these coins. Let me just zoom out a bit. Yeah, so obviously equal highs here where this order block is. So difficulty nonetheless, even though we're on the hard time frame, I didn't want to draw it. We do have these relative highs here, which is basically at this line at 162.5. We also have this order block which has the midpoint about 160, 159. So we could come to the top of it, which is also 162.8. So I think 163, 162 range, I think it's gonna be massive. I think when we come to there, we're gonna come down a bit again. Similar with, I mean, as we've gone on, as I've thought about it, subconsciously, Bitcoin could have that move back downwards to Bitcoin could move back downwards to basically test that breaker block as actual support, which I realized we haven't actually done yet. So as I'm thinking about it, we probably should be doing that sooner rather than later. So I mean, if that supposedly happens, then obviously we could have support be at some area down here, maybe here. You can see double highs and double lows here at about 153. So we could have something like that. What I do want to do quickly as well is actually go on to Solana on this darker mode, where it is a bit uglier, but we do have different lines which have a bit more thinking about them. So what do we have? Difficulty at order block. I think I talked about this already. Difficulty at order block again. Finally flipped it though. You can see flipped it there from this bounce, which I haven't talked about yet. And now we are coming upwards. Resistance in this next order block, which I've already drawn, which we already have back here, here, and here. So it's a very similar story on different charts where we have this resistance area, which we are currently stuck below, trying to break above. But I do eventually think, as with most things, with most coins, we're going to be doing that. We actually do have this area back here, which I'm going to make white. There we go. Actually, I'm going to do ray instead, because you can actually see the price then, which is around, crap, $168 exactly. So a good area there as well. Let me set this back to black. I'm going to be going back into light mode. So yeah, just looking at where we could see, especially on the 4 hour, you know, if we flip this, support, come back up to 168, maybe come back down to the top of this, and then obviously come back upwards, bang, you know, continue this onwards. Obviously, we're not going to continue this forever. We could have a comeback down, which I've already talked about being maybe, I think I've already talked about 154. I definitely think can be the price we see, you know, for our low. Similarly, we've had Bitcoin has its breaker block. Ethereum, you know, I think, what do we have? Can't remember what we have. We have some sort of support blows. I don't know if it was a line or an order block or whatever it was. I can't remember. But we do have support on most coins, which is good to see. So I definitely think we have that 154. If Bitcoin comes down to its breaker block, you know, Solana could see 154 price range back there. Let me just zoom this across, actually. Actually consistent, you know, bounce there, consistent bounce there, consistent resistance and a bounce. So yeah, it looks like it's already been a price we've used previously, which is nice to see. Yeah, I think we could come to there. What I'm going to do now though, because we have 3 minutes, I'm going to look at a singular coin. I do apologize. I know there's been multiple coins been suggested to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the YouTube chat up just to see what's been suggested. I should probably do Mubi because that was the first thing I actually read out to say to do. I'm going to check the balance chat though. Once I find a plugin, not plugin, what's the name of it? What the hell? Hold on, my brain's gone. A thingy. I can't. Oh my god, what's it called? Indicator. Oh my days, I couldn't not remember the name of an indicator. The indicator. If I can find an indicator, I think I found one, but I'm still testing it. If I can find an indicator which can actually just draw these manually, it'll be so much easier to do. I don't like them doing, because doing them live, it takes like a couple minutes to do. Have I looked at Mubi before? Just want to make sure I haven't on any of the other charts. I don't think I've looked at it before. Let's just bring it up on here. Let's go on daily. Let's actually go on the weekly. Let's get a bit, you know, interesting. You know what, let's just draw the ranges. Let's draw some ranges. Might take me a minute or two, or 3. God, this is not what I wanted to use. So let's do the coordinates. So we'll actually, I prefer the low being the 0. So probably do 81. I'm thinking if I should do the lower time frame or not. Which I need a bit. Yeah, no, I'm a bit tired. I did have an interesting drink like before the stream, which it seems to have actually helped me speak normally, which is nice. But yeah, no, I do need a bit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to draw these ranges. I'm going to figure out which number I want to use, because there's multiple numbers you can use. I want to see how valid this could be. Okay, this could be valid. This is valid. You can see the equilibrium is being used really nicely. So let's use it again. I mean, it's not like it's something really hard to actually draw at the end of the day. I don't know, it's nothing crazy. Is it here, or am I stupid? Wait, where did I draw it from? Oh no, it's pennies, wasn't it? There we go. Wait, was it? I think it was. I can't remember now. I think it doesn't really. I don't know why I'm asking you guys because it really doesn't matter. All right, let's just do these for now because I want to see. And we could probably actually use these on the lower time frames because you can cascade it downwards. So we'll probably use this actually. So you can see decent usage actually. Obviously, this is a really big range. We can see even how fast that was to draw. Like you can see, good bounce, good, and then obviously found difficulty at the top of it. This whole thing is equilibrium. Again, remember that. But again, obviously, when you use these ranges as equilibrium, you need to remember that is when you draw them on the relative range. So you can see, like, you know, it was used here, and then obviously found difficulty, and then it's being used again. But if you go down onto the time frames, you start to see consistency at these ranges. We can see how good this is here. So this is nice. This is good. So it seems like we have the equilibrium right now at what 3.7 whatever. But again, if we have that Binance listing, similar to how Mu had its thing, and we just completely ignored everything else, we could definitely easily see this range upwards. And remember, every range, there's a reason for them. It's a premium discount array. So this is where rejection blocks are supposed to form. This is where order blocks are supposed to form. This is fair value gaps. You can see this candle is within the fair value gap range, and this is a fair value gap we haven't filled. So this is going to be a valid fair value gap. And where is it? It's above equilibrium, so this is a negative. This all lines up. It's above equilibrium. It is a negative candle. It is coming downwards. It's a negative fair value gap, and it is in fair value gap range. The candle is within fair value gap range. So this is going to be a perfect fair value gap in theory, all things being equal, this, that, the other. So considering, you know, midpoint, whatever, you know, we should see 6 cent as a good resistance line. You know, it's more backup. And again, you can see even here, this is order block range with an order block. You see how good that is? Midpoint, 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 midpoint flipped. So in theory, it is an order block, so it should still be, we should be able to flip it because it is an order block. But as you come down, this is a breaker block area. So if you find a breaker block in breaker block area, you should see a consistent area where you have it being basically flipped. Yeah. I'm just trying to look back to see if we have any other areas. This is actually a breaker block. Let's see. Let's see the validity of this. So remember, you know, rejection block, order block, fair value gap, liquidity void, breaker block, mitigation. So let's go back. What I need to learn more about actually is mitigation blocks because I actually don't really use them. So this is going to be a flip. So what happened? And this is very similar to what we're doing right now for Bitcoin. This is actually applicable for Bitcoin. This is pretty much identical to Bitcoin. Well, not so much. The Bitcoin movement was like this instead. But this is a breaker block. What are breaker blocks? Again, it is an order block. Let's say this is a negative order block. So it's going to be a bear. So that's a bear. All right. Let's pretend that's a bear. Okay, this is a little bear. This is a bearish order block. So what happens is it gets formed and then price uses resistance because remember, obviously midpoint. Remember, it is an order block. So it is getting used. But in order for a breaker block to form, you have to have an order block first. So you have to use it as resistance. What happens? In this case, it's perfect because we used the bottom of it as support, and then we flip it. Obviously, the bad side about it is we haven't actually come back to test it as support properly. So let me remove that bear, and then we can shimmy it across. I think we have come below it, though. But you can see. Breaker block. We didn't come back. Bang! It's like a wall. It was like a brick wall. We just stopped. We went bang, and then right up. And again, obviously, coming into this equilibrium, the difference between this equilibrium and this price was pretty naff. So we then flipped it. And again, remember, the basis of it is still technically an order block. So we unfortunately flipped it, and then used it as resistance, and then we flipped it again. And then lo and behold, if we don't use it as support. So even when, and again, this is what I said, similar with order blocks, when I said, in theory, this is a positive order block. So in theory, we could use it as resistance because we flipped it, but in nature, in the nature of it, it is an order block and it's in order block zone, so we should flip it. So this is a bullish order block. We are probably going to use it as resistance once because we have flipped it, but it is in the order block area. So the nature of it, like I said, is we flip it and then use it as support. Similar with this breaker block. In nature, you know, it's negative, so we use it as a resistance, but the usage of it is that it's support. So even when we do dip below, the confidence in me is like, okay, we're going to use a resistance. We're going to be stuck in this area. We're going to come back above it, simply. And obviously, aspects with this and the other, we've used it. So again, we had a dip below, but again, we've come back upwards and using support. So we're in this range, difficult range right now. being stuck at equilibrium and using this as support. But again, similar with what looks like the prosperity of Mubi should be, we break above this, use it as support, and then continue fair value gap, maybe come back down to, this isn't in rejection block area, but I might draw a range downwards. So this could be a rejection block in a different range. Actually, let me just test them. I'm on my calculator right now, because sometimes you have to do different numbers, and there's just like wacky numbers, and I just don't want to do it in my head because I can't really be bothered. What I want to check though, because each because each number for the range, you can use the lower ranges in the higher range. So this range spans a singular range, if you know what I mean. And this range spans a different range. Okay, I'm explaining this actually horribly, but I'll just show it as an example. If anyone was to learn how to use the ranges. So there's 3 ranges, right? I haven't locked them actually. No, I have locked them. So this is 3 ranges. And each range has the capacity of 3 ranges in it. So if you wanted a more detailed range on the higher thing, you could do this. Give me a moment. No, not clone. Oh my god. Create group. This is the 81. What happened? Oh, what the hell, man? You can see it does the same thing. And remember, what do I always say? On the equilibriums, the 2 outer rims matter. Well, this is a pure example. Look, do you see that? If we hide this, I'm looking at this one. Look at it. If we hide the higher range one, what do you see? You see the top line and the bottom line being blue, and then these 2 red, right? You can see them, right? This whole thing. Well, watch what happens when we hide this and go to the high. This is the next range upwards. So each range uses a certain number. So for example, these ones use the 81 value. The next one upwards is 243. So if we unhide the 243, what do you see? The range, this equilibrium, is actually just the red, but when it cascades downwards, because it's fractal, it uses the whole thing. So that's why I always point out whenever I look at Bitcoin, whatever this and the other, and use a range. Yeah, we have equilibrium at these 2 areas, but I will always still look at these 2 higher ranges. And technically, as you cascade upwards, each line is technically in equilibrium on a higher range. But again, it gets a bit like messy then. I just want to point out just to display it. But if we zoom out, you can see what can we see in terms of its usage. Well, it's decent. Obviously, we dip below pretty naffly. But then I'm gonna have to go up on the month now. So you can see this is all right. You can see came above equilibrium, support and equilibrium for 3 months, dipped into equilibrium at difficulty, and then we came down. And what do you see here on the month? Rejection block in rejection block area, came to roughly the midpoint, and then came down again. So we've got a month-based rejection block up here on the 243, as you can see. And you can see for 3 months we stayed above. And again, obviously, as you go from the month to the week, it gets a bit messy. You can see 1, 2, and then this month we stayed above equilibrium here. So we had 3 straight months of being above equilibrium. And again, when you go back to the weekly, it looks like an absolute mess because you wick. You're wicking here and there and everywhere. But it still is applicable. And you can, even there, you can see it, how perfect that is on the weekly. Form the rejection block, resistance perfectly, midpoint resistance. So this is going to be big resistance for Mubi as we continue upwards. And obviously, if we come down now, you can see what we're doing. It gets a bit messy, but if we go back to what we're doing right now, you can see we're below equilibrium. So that's what I think for Mubi. I know I'm 10 minutes over. I do apologize it. I know we're 10 minutes over. I do apologize. But you know what I mean. Go back to the daily. You can even see on the 4 hour how nice it all works. Like you can see like the pinpoint bounce here, the pinpoint bounce off here. This is the low we had. Like this entire period from 21st September coming to now 26th September. These 2 lows are pretty much equal. And what's the difference? Like 3149 to 3170. It's like 20 whatever the helps of a penny for Mubi. So really nice usage. Really nice usage. And again, remembering, like, as I just pointed out, like, technically this is technically equilibrium on a higher range. You know what I'm saying? So then if you go to the monthly, okay, this is actually probably a really bad example. But you can see, like, we flipped it. We flipped the equilibrium. Look. Let's draw it. Let's draw it together. All right. So you got black line. You got this line about here, and you got the two lines in the middle. So this is that equilibrium on the higher range. Okay, so this is getting a bit big now. Okay, but nonetheless. So how well do we use it? Okay, let me delete this. Actually, no, let's keep it. I like it. So we come down into it. We're hovering. We flipped it now, and look where we're bouncing off, the midpoint of the equilibrium. So look at that. Isn't that nice? That's our bounce. How let's see how accurate that is, though. How equals this bounce? It's off by what? Okay, what is that? That's 0.00001 penny off in terms of that bounce. So we bounced off the middle of the equilibrium on the higher range. So yeah, that's just an example. Obviously, if you're someone who uses these ranges, it's basically a power free when you draw them. Basically, obviously there's a bit of an analysis when you go. So you go, okay, cool. So we're using pennies. So the difference in between some of these ones, and again, you know, it depends on what you draw. Obviously, you can use it on any coin, because again, this is drawn using the fib tool. You just have custom percentages. But when you use them, it's like, okay, so if we go to it, it's like, what's the difference? I can't open it. I don't know why. What's going on? There we go. So what's the difference between the 162 and the 243? 81. Or 0.081. What's the difference between this one? 0.81. What's the difference between 0 or this one? 0.81. Again, if you did 0.81, it could still technically work. But, you know, again, you have to go based on the price action. And this one works fine. So you know what I'm saying. And again, like I said, this one uses the 243, which is 3 sets of 81. Again, power free. And it cascades, like I said. So obviously, if you're someone who wants to use them, you can come message me. I can give you a PDF which kind of goes through how to use power free. And again, I don't know every single thing about how to use this, all these methods, because I just use it how I use it. I think if you're going to use something which someone else kind of talks about, I think the best way of doing it is interpreting it. You don't have to use it one-to-one. You can use it one-to-one, but the way I use it, I don't use it exactly how it's been told to be used. I interpreted it and using it my own way, and it works. It works. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's always nice to have a coin which has history, so you can go over the ranges and see how applicable they are, and then go from there, basically. So if you know the 81 works on the 0.01 degree, like a 1 cent degree, then you know the 243 is going to be 24 cent. You know what I'm saying? And then in Bitcoin, it's like, okay, what's the interval? I can't remember what intervals I use, but you can work it out. You can divide it. To be fair, you can divide it. There is a formula for it to find the dealing ranges, but I just do it based on eyeball, because it's faster, basically. But yeah, I've yapped. I've gone on 15 minutes. That's what I think for Mubi. We've in this equilibrium. You can see flipping equilibrium right now. Bounce 1, bounce 2. So we've flipped it. So technically, we are still below this equilibrium for Mubi right now. But again, what's going to happen with Binance is going to be really, really huge. Where are we right now? So our rejection block, order block, liquidity void, or fair value gap, liquidity void. So we're in an area where there's mass movement. But again, we do have breaker block area, which has this area here. So we are in breaker block area. So we do have confidence that the low is going to be no more lower than, obviously, these lows. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to the daily, actually. No more lower than 2.6 pennies. But let me... I'm going to delete some of these lines, actually, because I don't want them. I'll keep this rectangle, though, actually. I do appreciate this. What is this rectangle? Is this the rejection block? It is. Okay, let's keep that as well. That's perfect. Okay, so yeah. Whoops. So yeah, confidence-wise, yeah, we're doing our thing. I think we should keep on going. We are stuck below this equilibrium, but I think we need someone to push us up. So similar with how Bitcoin's had that... we had that news on Wednesday, last week, which really helps us to push us up. I think we need that for Mubi, so I definitely think we're gonna have something like that. We also have a really pristine order block right now on Mubi, which isn't in order block area, but again, if you go cascading downwards, you'll probably find something here. And again, remember, what is each range made up of? It's made of 3 separate different ranges. So the 81, the next one down, I think it's the 27. Let me figure it out. I think it's 27. It's 27. So if I drew 27 range and go up in 27ths or whatever, this range would have 3 different ranges in it. So this is, this is probably all block range in the 27ths. So okay, I know I've gone over. I do apologize. I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna draw the 27ths. I want to see if I'm right, just to see, So 0 to basically, I think I did the 0.027, not negative. There we go. So that's 1. So let's lock that. Okay, I'm going to group it as well. Actually, no, I'm going to group it in a minute. And this next one is going to be to the 5.4. I think that's right. There we go. So let's just, okay, there we go. Now we can see what's going on. And again, you can see equilibrium. And again, obviously, technically it is equilibrium in an equilibrium. Have I drawn this right? Actually, no. Did I draw that wrong? I don't think so. No, I'm right. Yeah, breaker block. Okay, so there we go. So now we've figured out. So this is the 27ths. And it goes as follows. Rejection blocks form here. Order blocks, fair value gap, liquidity void, breaker block. What do you notice about this? It's in the breaker block area. This is breaker block area. What does that mean? You form an order block and then you flip it. What have we done? We formed an order block. A negative order block. What does that mean? We're going to flip it. Breaker block means we're going to flip it. So we formed the order block now. So we're going to flip it. And now we're going to use 3.6 as support. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, I've gone over a ton. And this is the problem. This is why I need someone to draw me these ranges for me. Or I need someone to draw the ranges for me. Because I draw every range. I go on about it. But it excites me drawing these ranges because you'll draw it and you'll immediately notice we've got because like if I look at a chart and I see an order block and I go, why is that? I would think to myself, why is that order block working and this one isn't? These ranges give you a rough understanding as to why some work and some don't. Again, it could be pie in the sky. It isn't based on a specific number, but it's based on a theory. And again, what are charts? It's the way people and bots, technically, which are aimed towards understanding how people will interact with a price. At the end of the day, charts are just how people interact with a coin, which is a natural thing. You don't use, there isn't a concrete formula to predict how a human interacts with something or a human buys something or like a chart. You can't do that. You can estimate stuff based on statistics, but at the end of the day, it's a natural thing. Why do you think Fibonacci works so well? Because it is based on nature. It's based on humans. So what's to say that the power of 3, free to the power of whatever, doesn't work? That's a naturally occurring thing. 369, that naturally occurs in a lot of things. So who's to say that doesn't work? So this is similar to, it's not technically the Fibonacci, but it's similar in a way. But anyway, yeah. So it's like, okay, because before I drew these ranges, and I was on the 81, I was thinking, why is this order block being used? Why is it being used? Why are we here? Why are we in the equilibrium and we have an order block being used? Lo and behold, thankfully, the range below explains to us that this breaker block, or the reason why this is being used is because it's in breaker block area, which again, like I said, means an order block which gets flipped into the opposite direction. So negative order block is going to get flipped into a positive breaker block. But again, to preface this though, look at how close we are to the equilibrium. Is this really going to give us much positivity? Like how efficient is this going to be? Because yeah, cool, we're going to use 36 or 3.6 pennies as support, but then we bounce off 0.38 or we bounce off 0.39. We don't have a lot of room to move up, which is why there's a lot of difficulty here, which I don't think this is going to hold as too much strength because we are at equilibrium right now. So unless we have something really positive to flip it, aka obviously, as you know, oh my god, also, I didn't realize this fair value gap is in fair value gap area, which is really nice, which we actually haven't come to yet, so to bear that in mind. Actually, have we touched it? What a strong fair value gap that is. I don't know if we've already touched this. I actually can't tell. It's that close, I can't tell. We didn't touch it. Okay, we've got an awry fair value gap down here. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, like, as I was going over, I don't think this is going to be massive support because we're so close to equilibrium. I think it's going to break us down, even though it's in breaker block area, even though it's going to be flipped. You know, unless you want to trade, what I would do is wait for the flip of this and then short about 0.38 or short in the equilibrium and then come down again. I would wait to short, if you know what I mean, because I wouldn't long right now because, again, you never want to be too sure. You know, maybe we don't flip this. You know, there's always careful things. But even right now, even within this candle on the daily, like, we wicked up and then we're coming down again. You know, we're flipping it actually right now. We're trying to flip it right now. You can see, like, this candle, obviously, we're coming down again, but the daily's where it's at. We're trying to flip it. The wick on the daily, you can see we're exactly equilibrium. Equilibrium is a strong bull, which we're getting stuck at right now. So maybe wait towards maybe 4 cent. I can't give an exact value because I'm not a mind reader of the charts. Maybe give it to 4 cent, or maybe give it to this range up here, you know, this area. Give it to this area. Wait, I would say. And I'd rather short than long, because if you long, you know, be careful, you know, because we're at equilibrium. You know, unless something really strong or some really strong price action brings us up, be careful. When is Mubi getting listed? Because that is going to be crucial. Because what's going to happen, Mubi's going to get listed, it's going to flip the equilibrium, it's going to bounce, it's going to go to support, it's going to go right towards 5 cent, 5.5 cent. It's going right towards there. I'll tell you that right now. Look, we have rejection block. I didn't even realize. On the 27 dealing range, we have rejection block. We came into it, resistance down. So we're going to have resistance here. So it's going to come towards 5 cent. I would say 5 cent is going to be the pump. But again, to be fair, it's probably going to go even higher. I'm just giving you, like, it's probably going to do this. Like, it's probably going to do this. I'm just saying we're probably going to see resistance here. We're probably going to see resistance here, there. You know, I don't think we're going to stop at 5 cent. I'm just saying I think that's a potential area of resistance as a whole. I definitely think this let me group these actually before I forget. As the 21 or the 27, sorry, dealing range. There you go. So if we go back to the 81, then we zoom out on the weekly or whatever we're doing. You know, bear in mind we do have was it the 81 I used? What's this fib one? Oh, it's 243. So I'm getting lost right now. I'm not gonna lie. This is rejection block and the rejection block. Yeah, so. Oh no, it's all block. Yeah, all block. No, was it up here, wasn't it? Where the rejection block was? Yeah, okay. So we could maybe stop at the top of the dealing range. 8 cent. You know, we might come all the way back up. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know how the price is going to respond to it. It's a huge thing. It could go stratospheric. It could go all the way up, you know, to 11 cent where this next equilibrium is. It could. I'm just saying. Yeah, anyway, I've yapped. Be careful. We've got breaker block. We're going to flip it. I'd wait for a short at 4 cent. Coming back down to maybe the fair value gap at 3 cent. You know, maybe a 4 to 3 cent. You know, maybe come down. I don't know. Be careful. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We'll read the chat though, because the chat is getting pretty active. Before, obviously, I know we're ending the stream in a minute, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, there's a lot of chat. I'm gonna see what people are saying. No, Scotch is best. I'm not gonna have a Scotch though. What's the best TA by Legends? I appreciate it, man. You know what? I want to say this to everyone. Obviously, I know I don't want to see appreciate to every single comment because it's gonna get repetitive. But you know, I appreciate all the nice comments. I really do, actually. Like seeing someone say really good TA or I appreciate this. I really do appreciate it. I've said that 4 times now. But DJ, love you, Brogan. I love you too, man. Appreciate it. I say it again, man. I need to get some of these words out of my vocabulary. Can I just say it over and over again? I need to use some more words, man. I see NG on Brogan's Worlds. I don't know, Chris Warehouse TA. In my love and gratitude, Chris Warehouse. Man, again, you know it, man. Appreciate it. Okay, explain. I'm hopefully I'll explain in a decent way. You know, I do, you know, hope I don't yap on about things which are really hard to understand. Because, you know, I don't want to just talk. I mean, I can understand if someone's, you know, first time watching, you know, what I'm doing and they see all these lines and they see all these colors, they have no idea what's going on. I don't want that to throw someone off, because I understand, you know, the goal of someone who's doing TA streams is to try and give it in a consumable way, you know, trying to show what they're looking at in a way people understand. So I hope I do explain the way I use these things in a decent way. I know I don't go on every single stream. You know, some streams I don't talk about how I use things. Like this stream, you know, in this last 25 minutes I've been talking, has been about how I draw the areas and how to talk about it. And again, you know, if you're out there and you're on the Telegram or whatever, and you're not there, go to the description, join it. If you want to know how I do it, I can send a PDF talking about the ranges by someone else who looks at the power free. So you know, you can, if you do want to learn about it, I can answer questions. But I hope the way I explain it, because I don't want to just go, oh, this line means this and this, this and this, so that means we're going to do this. Because to someone, if I was looking at someone else's TA and they said, oh, we're on the 46.92 line, which means we're going to go up, I'm going to have no idea how that happened. So my aim normally is to try and explain why that's there. You know, like, oh, this line or this area as you go up means this forms. So when this forms, it's like, you know, I'm yapping, but you know what I mean. But I'm still using the indicator. I appreciate it. I made a couple. I haven't made one in a while, actually. Simple significance, I still think is a brilliant indicator. Again, I have these ranges. I have my order blocks. I talk about it all the time. You know, it's obviously, it's like, oh, yeah, you make these indicators, but you don't use them. I completely understand that, but they're there for people who want to use them. I always claim whenever I advertise them, they're all free as well, so it's not like I'm asking for them. Well, obviously it's $2.99 on YouTube for membership, but you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. It's not like it's a magic indicator that can give you all the money. There are scenarios in some of the, you know, on certain time frames in certain coins where it works really, really well. But I think, you know, I think simple significance has been my magnum opus. I know it was my first one. I really like that indicator. It works really well. The channel signals one's really nice. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy them. I enjoyed making them. Yeah, it's more a thing where I wanted to make them for people. Brooklyn's was Mike. I really see it. That's the best you can find. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. I really do. I like this. Well explained. Never used Fibonacci retracement so far. Yeah, I liked. I really liked using fib retracements, and there's a fib extension as well, which was good. But yeah, I mean, this again, these lines, they can get complicated. They can get a bit messy to draw. I do understand that, but I just think these are more nuanced. Like fib numbers, yeah, great. It's just a set of preset. It's just a preset amount of numbers. So technically, the power free is a preset amount of numbers. It's the 81, the 163, the 243, the whatever this at the other. But I think they're a bit more nuanced. Especially these lines, they're more nuanced and they have more understanding. Like the fib tool, it's like, yeah, cool. You draw it from the high to the low, but it's like, it's not a preset thing. Like if you draw from the high to the low, which high do you draw from? Which low do you draw from? You know, there's a lot of variety going on there. But with these tools, it's like you draw it on the 8.1 cent, the 24.1 cent, or the 24.3 cent. You know, you draw it. You know, you draw it's all predefined every single time. But the way that the coins interact are obviously vastly different. But yeah, a lot of people hoping for $1. Yeah, I mean, let me have actually a little nosy. $1 probably viable. I mean, again, look at the monthly though for it, and not have the 81. Let's have the 243. Yeah, I mean, let's draw the next range up for the 243 actually. I want to see where this forms, this line. Try to click into this range. There we go. So it'd be the 486, I believe it would be. There we go. Okay, cool. And this is why I love the ranges. It makes me happy. I have this warm, fuzzy feeling whenever I use them. Look where the wick came to. It was it was 0.2 cent away from the top of the equilibrium on this range. And again, technically you're supposed to use this as the equilibrium, but I use this. This is why I said, like, you want to what's the word? What did I use? You want to interpret these ranges. So I more often use this range instead of this. You can see, like, look at that. Look at how close that is. It's not perfect. It's not exactly 38637, but it's pretty damn close. Isn't that nice? That's just really, really nice. And this rejection block is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, anyway, this is just absolutely lovely. Yeah, if we probably go to the weekly, you can see, like, just different areas of just getting stuck. That's actually beautiful. But anyway, Educational TM crypto. Thank you guys again. I've gone over 30 minutes. If you're new to the streams and my streams, you need to know that there are some streams where I end dead on 10 or my time 10. Everything in life must be fractal. Hey, when it's related to this, when you have different time frames, it's fractal, okay? And hey, don't take my word for it. Take what you're looking at the chart right now. And again, like I said, it's not perfect, but come on, like I know. I mean, to be fair, it is like 11% range. It's a big range. Come on, yeah, it's a good range. It's a good bounce. How much percent were we off? Like, it wasn't even like 0.5% off. It's really nice. Anyway, oh yeah, money flow. You know what? I'll check Bitcoin money flow before I end it. As I'm talking about my outro. Yeah, if you're new to streams, sometimes I'll end dead on 10 o'clock. Or you see +2, see bottom right. Sometimes I'll end it 30 minutes because sometimes I just end up talking. So I do apologize if you're someone who can only watch for a certain amount of time. Just check the money flow. I haven't checked the money flow in a while. I don't use market size too much anymore. It's going up though. I mean, yeah, I actually talked about this. I talked about this last week because Kishan, I remember you mentioned it to me. I said on the weekly it was going up. We had stock RSI going up, VWAP's going up. We had a green dot, not on the 60 mark, but a good green dot nonetheless. It's all going up. We're not oversold or anything. Really good moving upwards. Really, really nice. But again, the top. Where's the top of this line? I know it's black. I do apologize. Actually, let's do it from the wicks. Where is that line? Tell me. Where is that line? Exactly where we are right now. Where is that line? 68.6. That reminds me of something. That reminds me of something. $68,693 is the bottom of the equilibrium for the range we're currently in, or the range we're trying to get into. The top of the current trend line downwards for the bull flag is 68,663. It's $30 off. Isn't that just beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, shout out to all of you. DJ, shout out to you, man. Don't worry. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I am going to end the stream now, though, for the last final thing. Money flow's going up, Kishan. It's all going up on the weekly. I think we'll continue going upwards. We're positive. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it. If you want to learn more about what I was talking about the last 20 minutes and you're interested, then, up to Telegram, I can send information, ask questions, this or the other. And yeah, until next time, I'll be back, actually. I'll probably should say this. It's Friday today. We'll be back on... you know what? I might be back Monday. I want to see what... I want to do it... Because I know we're back on Tuesday for the giveaway. For the $55 giveaway. Monday, I might do a stream. So it might be Monday, Tuesday, you'll see me. And then maybe Thursday or Friday. Because I want to see what happens with Bitcoin and if we hold 66.3 or not. I want to see what happens. So I might do Monday. So you might see me Monday. You'll definitely see me Tuesday, though. And then you might probably see me like Thursday or Friday. But other than, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it. Join Telegram. Follow Twitter. Follow us. Subscribe. Thank you. And goodbye.